Hey everyone, it's me Asher. Welcome back to Metal Gear Solid: The Phantom Pain. Let's just get into it. Okay, I tried going into Metal Gear Solid online. That did not work out. It literally just froze. Okay, so
Boss, I know you haven't been back long, but I've prepared a list of missions for you. Open your iDroid.
let's see. Ocelot's briefing. Uh let's play it, I guess.
You were hospitalized in Decalia, a British sovereign base area on...
Oh, wait, before we do that, options. I think camera settings. No, I think it's on display settings. Subtitles on. Okay, there we go.
Cyprus. It's part of British overseas territory that falls outside of Cypriot jurisdiction. You got moved from Cuba's Little America right into Cyprus's Little Britain. Why Decalia? The UK and the US remain close allies. The last place Cypher would think to look for you is inside their own system. That's what kept you safe in British military hospital for 9 years. The safest place from a whale is inside its own belly. You were a regular Geppetto.
Well, it wasn't Pinocchio who led me out to safety. So who was that guy?
Cypher went so far as to attack British territory, burning their own ally. That's how badly they wanted you dead. You were hospitalized in Decalia.
Okay, let's play this one.
He said I was in a British military hospital. But the doctor had a Greek accent.
They hire locally. Easier to trust them.
I'm pretty sure there's people in Cyprus. Some people in Cyprus can speak Greek. I mean, Greece isn't really that far from Cyprus.
Decalia is also home to Greek Cypriots, after all.
What about the Turks? They haven't returned to the south.
Not yet. The Cyprus dispute is still a long way from resolved.
Please note this game takes place in like 1984. That dispute is still not resolved. Cyprus is still part Turkish, part Cyprus, and then there's this whole British international control line thing in the middle.
The country is just as split as it was in '74.
And still is now.
Turkish Cypriots in the north, Greek Cypriots in the south. Between them, the Green Line, the UN established.
And Decalia sits right on top of it.
It does. Part of the buffer zone between the two groups. Another reason it was the perfect place to hide you. Easy to spot any outsiders snooping around.
So how do things stand?
Last year, the Turks declared that the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus is an independent state.
The only country that recognizes that is Turkey.
Though it's only Turkey that recognizes it. In the past, the Greeks and Turks lived side by side in the same villages. There are reasons to fight. Those came from the outside. Greece, Turkey, Britain, America, they all had their own stake in pitting the two sides against each other. But once you spark something like this, it's impossible to control. Both sides build up grudges like debt, without the foresight to see that each act of revenge just fans the flames, and then it's too late for other nations to rush in with peace talks. The embers keep on smoldering. Each nation's arrogance only breeds anarchy. The world is paralyzed by this hunger for revenge. Cyprus is no different.
He said I was in a British military.
Okay, yeah, that whole Cyprus thing, as I said, it still goes on. It's still going on today. Check out Geography Now. They have the information on that one.
You're up.
We're changing ships.
We can't go sailing the Suez in a whaler.
The Suez Canal. When did they reopen it?
Not long after you were attacked. Once they finished sweeping it for mines after the Arab-Israeli conflict. Can you stand? We've got to transfer to a container ship for passage through the Suez. Our destination is Pakistan, Afghanistan's neighbor to the south. There we disembark and head via Peshawar to the Zero Line, the border. We'll travel to the Khyber Pass by road.
And then?
Continue on horseback. Afghanistan's main roads are under Soviet control. We'll need to go around them. It'll be all narrow, winding paths through the mountains. We'll do better on horseback. It's a local guerrilla tactic. They use the higher ridges to avoid air recons. Then they charge down the mountains for ambushes. The Soviets still haven't devised a counter strategy. Our time frame is only half as much as we really need. It'll be a tough march.
Better horses than boats.
Well, it'll make for good physiotherapy. Take the time to get used to that new arm.
While the Soviets have indicated they are not participating in the Los Angeles Olympics, primarily because the United States has made no attempt to guarantee the safety of the Soviet Union's athletes, the United States is increasingly demonstrating the belief that the issue has nothing to do with its preparations, and in fact this is retaliation for the Western nations' boycott of the previous Moscow Olympics. That concludes today's news.
That's quite some news.
The Soviet Union not attending the LA Olympics? Yeah. Andropov's death has changed some things. They're calling it revenge for the Western boycott of the Moscow Olympics.
Countries boycotted the Moscow Olympics.
Yes. In protest of the Soviet Union's invasion of Afghanistan. Over 50 countries were absent. It's too bad I didn't get to see Yamashita's judo. When the 40th Army crossed the Amu River 4 years ago, détente went right out the window. The U.S. Congress chose not to ratify SALT II, and Reagan's hardline politics won him the presidency in a landslide. According to him, the Soviet Union's an evil empire.
You believe in Reagan?
The Second Cold War.
And there's been no end to regional conflicts and civil wars. Lebanon, the Falklands, Grenada, Iran, Iraq.
Scroll back. What did Grenada have to do with this? Oh, Grenadians who may or may not watch this, what did y'all have to do with this?
The story never changes.
Egypt and Israel did sign a peace treaty. But then the driving force on the Egyptian side, President Sadat, was assassinated afterward. Apparently, his actions were considered a betrayal of his fellow Arabs. Islamic extremists?
Yes, fundamentalist extremists have been responsible for some bold acts of terrorism in recent years.
We've had extremist students in Iran take U.S. embassy workers hostage, and suicide bombings in Lebanon. Over 300 foreign soldiers stationed there have been killed.
The countries have yet to develop an effective means of dealing with terrorism. Afraid of losing their own men, they pulled their forces out, handing private forces a golden opportunity.
Private forces?
Small armies with no national affiliation, working for the highest bidder. That's right, they got the idea from you. After Mother Base went down, they began spreading to meet the soaring demand. Miller's organization is just one of many PFs now. The entire world is after you. But at the same time, it needs you too. Miller told me about what happened in the Caribbean 9 years ago. You do remember Miller. You'd formed a private army with him. An army with no allegiance to a nation.
I remember, but...
I see.
Technically, that sort of makes you a nation?
Not sure what's fact and what's a fantasy caused by the coma. It's still all a mess, huh? All I can do is tell you the facts as they were told to me. I've gone easy on you up until now. But this is where the hard stuff begins. 1974, the year before you entered your coma. You were in Colombia, operating with a small unit of men, basically mercenaries. Miller was among them. Miller was trying to find a way to turn his and your talents into a line of work. He was looking to start a business where you would fight on behalf of others around the world, those who needed military force. But the reality was, at that time, you didn't have enough gear to equip your own men. Then Miller came across this client. It was a huge job he was offering, but you had a shot at pulling it off. You accepted it and headed into Costa Rica. The client even threw in an offshore facility in the Caribbean. The Mother Base, that would be your new base of operations. Miller sure did have a head for business. As your mission went on, your unit grew and grew. More weapons, more money. Before you knew it, you were commanding 300 men. As the organization got bigger, your military powers swelled to match. It got so the international community couldn't afford to ignore you. You were just too damn successful for your own good.
What country in the Caribbean were they in? Because, please note, Costa Rica it may be touching the Caribbean Sea, but it's not part of the Caribbean.
Your men had worn out your welcome. Everyone was out for you. East, West, First World, Third. It was only a matter of time before someone took you down. And that was XOF. Officially, they're an anti-terror unit under the CIA. In reality, they're Cypher's private strike force. They lured you to Cuba using Chico, the Nicaraguan revolutionary kid, and Paz, a mole who worked for Cypher as bait. While you were gone, XOF, posing as a nuclear inspection team, stormed Mother Base. At the same time, C4 they placed on the strut legs went off. The whole thing went down in minutes.
XOF. Kisses and hugs followed by a big FU.
All because of Miller's.
Oh, I get it now. I got it. Hold on. Okay, that was clever. That was clever. Hold on. I have to applaud that. That was brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant.
Blind spot. A back door into Mother Base no one suspected. You remember a certain scientist. Huey was responsible for bringing the inspection team on board, giving the enemy a perfect opportunity to hit you at home. You were returning from Cuba when it happened.
Oh, they were in Cuba. That kind of makes sense because Cuba is like the only country that in the Caribbean that really dealt with like nuclear stuff and weaponry and all. War. Full on war. Cuba is the only country that really dealt with that, pretty much. I mean, no other country in the Caribbean, aside from maybe Haiti or something, really dealt with a civil war. Well, as far as I know. Then again, I'm not really the greatest at history. I mean, I know Dominica didn't have any civil wars. I know that. Well, not yet.
Damn close to taking you with it into the Caribbean. Those of your men out on assignment returned right away. They refused to believe the wreckage in the water they found was Mother Base. But they checked the coordinates again and again until reality finally settled in. You were supposed to die that day. That was XOF's primary objective. As far as most folks know, you did. The first doctor to see you wasn't even sure what he was looking at. Before they'd even finished operating, your men moved you to that hospital in Cyprus. There was a woman named Eva who arranged that. Rings a bell, Most men in your condition would have been written off right from the start.
But you survived. You went straight down to hell, and they pulled you out. Your eye wide open. Full venom. The days of naked Snake are long gone. Welcome back, Venom Snake. This world still needs you. Here, Snake, try this on.
A prosthetic arm.
Yeah, Miller was calling it the arm that wasn't there. The physiotherapy's going well. Your arm's bulked up enough for it to fit. There. Perfect. A little time with it, and it'll work better than the real thing. What do you think?
I can still feel my real arm.
Well, you better get used to this one quick. You have any pain?
Every now and then.
Where?
My fingertips. My left fingertips.
Sounds like phantom pain. Your brain still remembers your old hand.
Oops, sorry.
Your men had worn out your...
Here, Snake, try this on.
A prosthetic
Let's see,
arm.
how do you...
Yeah, Miller was calling it the arm that wasn't there. The physiotherapy's going there. Perfect. A little time with it, and it'll work better than the real thing. What do you think?
I can still feel my real arm.
Well, you better get used to this one quick. You have any pain?
Every now and then.
Where?
My fingertips. My left fingertips.
Yeah, that's the thing. I remember being going to the hospital after Hurricane Maria happened, and one of the doctors, I think it was from like England or something, was talking to me, and was saying like, okay, so in a sense he explained to me like, yeah, this patient, yeah, even when you lose your limbs, like some part of your body, your brain still remembers how they feel. So yeah, That right there is actually a real thing. For then again, you all probably knew that.
Sounds like phantom pain. Your brain still remembers your old hand. Yeah. What about your vision? Can you see okay? Yeah, at the moment. Now, the shrapnel in your skull is pressing on your optic nerve. I'm told any hard impact could have an effect on your visual cortex. Yeah, the doctor mentioned that. Your brain might process visual information incorrectly. In other words, you could have hallucinations. You might see things that aren't there, or not see things as they really are. You experience any of that? I think so. When? Right after I wake up. Colors look faded. Colors, huh? Well, that's not a major concern in and of itself, but it could mean the difference between life and death in the field. You'll need to watch out for that. I will. All right. You should continue your physio. We'll be arriving soon. It's the last chance you'll get.
Okay, so that was everything in Ocelot's briefing. So all this was like, as they came from, what do you call that place? You know, as they were in, you know, Cyprus and all that. Okay, so let's listen to Ocelot's briefing number 2, shall we?
Ocelot, I hear they started calling you Shalashaska in Afghanistan. What's that about?
You know the term Sharashka? It's slang for a suspicious, hastily thrown together organization. The word became associated with a type of forced labor facility in the Soviet Gulag system. OKB scientists and engineers who'd been convicted of crimes were sent to a Sharashka for forced R&D. The Sharashkas were supervised by Lavrenti Beria of the NKVD, the secret police, under the official name 4th Special Department.
Forced research? That's not very different from what we do here.
Diamond Dogs is different. Everyone here believes in you. Regardless of where they came from or why they're here, they revere you. And they're fighting because it was their choice.
And if it wasn't, they'd leave?
Who knows? That's our reality here, whether it's real or not. If there's another truth, I don't want to know it. All that matters is that's the concept that's taken shape in their heads. The traces of a group ideology, our superstructure, to put it in Marxist terms.
All right. Go on.
Right. So anyway, at some point the enemy...
Yeah, I just want to pause a while. Why do you have to throw in Marxism, though? Like, these guys are not communists.
started calling me Sharashka. This was after the war in Afghanistan broke out. While I was keeping an eye on you in that hospital, I was also heading up interrogations here. The men I broke gave up their comrades and families, everything they wanted to protect them most. No real cause for it. I just let myself get caught up in the old Russian pride. And suddenly I received the honor of becoming Special Interrogation Advisor to the forced labor camps. But the more men I interrogated, the more people saw me as just that, the interrogator. It helped cover my real objective of keeping you safe.
You went that far for me?
Far enough to keep you alive. I ended up being pretty well known among the Afghan guerrillas. Some of them would have seen me on the battlefield. And that's how I got the second half of the name. Shashka. It's a sword. A type of saber from the Caucasus. Russian dragoons and Cossacks carried them into battle. Now the Russian Empire had a general by the name of Fyodor Arturovich Keller. His bravery earned him the nickname Russia's Greatest Shashka. Someone must have known about that, because somewhere along the line, Shashka got stuck on the end of Sharashka. The guerrillas were using the name amongst themselves. By the time I got to hearing about it, pronunciation had wound up as Shalashashka.
So, half Gulag, half Hero sword. It was a perfect fit.
But you see how rumors and ideas about people can get out of hand fast. Once you create a character and put it out there in public mind, it warps and twists with every baseless rumor. And before you know it, all people see are phantoms. In my case, it works out just fine. I'm plenty used to working under aliases.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so let's go to Ocelot's briefing numero 3. Who is Salt 2?
So Salt 2 still hasn't gone into effect.
That treaty was drawn up to limit not just the size of the U.S. and Soviet Union's nuclear arsenals, but also their delivery systems. The whole deal. Just when we thought all those years of negotiations had paid off, somebody decides to invade Afghanistan. The timing couldn't have been worse.
The president was in the middle of the SALT II talks back then.
You mean while you were busy trying to stop Peace Walker? I heard. President Ford was meeting with the General Secretary in Vladivostok. In his absence, the political brass in America detected what they didn't realize was false nuclear launch data from Peace Walker. They were on the verge of ordering a retaliatory nuclear strike.
Coleman's big idea?
Also, Peace Walker, and they'd have nuclear weapons.
Humans are incapable of destroying themselves. Turns out he never knew what humans are capable of.
If that AI, the boss, hadn't found a way to stop the fake data transmission, they probably would have gone ahead with the launch.
Deterrence was revealed as the pipe dream it was.
All thanks to you. And her. The U.S.-Soviet talks looked set to fall through. What happened in Nicaragua no doubt helped trigger a change of heart. But in the end...
The time's to find the politics. When you've grabbed their tail, they turn and bite your hand.
I first met you 20 years ago now. The place was Selenouyarsk in the Soviet Union. We were enemies. I was with the GRU. You were still fighting for America.
Oh yeah, I think I do remember seeing something about that before.
1964. Operation Snake Eater. Its objective? The assassination of the legendary soldier known as the Boss. When you returned home successful, they awarded you the title Big Boss. Your CO, Zero, sought to carry on the boss's will by covertly establishing his own organization. You knew the original members from Operation Snake Eater. From America, there was David O, or as he was to you, Major Zero. Donald Anderson, aka Sigand. Dr. Clark, who went by paramedic during the operation. And the fourth, you. From China, there was Eva.
Huh.
And me, Ocelot, from the Soviet Union. 6 in total. To us, government notions of friend and foe were meaningless. As were East and West, we joined forces by our will alone. Our objective was to fulfill the boss's dying wish, to make the world one. And to do it, Zero used the Philosopher's Legacy, the secret war fund you obtained during Operation Snake Eater. This organization would go on to become Cypher. I, on the other hand, was left with the problem. You only recovered half of the legacy. I had to locate the other half myself. When I found the funds, I passed them on to Zero, just as you wanted.
I still trusted him in those days.
We thought what he was doing was the boss's will, until he started that one project.
Les enfants terribles, Zero called it.
You parted ways, as did Eva, leaving only Anderson and Clark still with him. I maintained limited contact. Although, truth be told, we were just keeping tabs on one another. The reason was always you. After you returned to the Army and created Foxhound, you left America. For a time, even I'd lost track of you. I'd imagine Zero did too. You always were the best when it came to hide and seek.
Interesting.
Zero created Cypher.
Now who's Zero?
An information network to tap into every corner of the globe. Woven together, Cypher's arteries make the world just one big organism. And that's not all. It also monitors the thorn in Zero's side. That's you, tracking your coordinates wherever you might go. The further you strayed from your roots, the larger Zero became. It's as if he was trying to close the gap between you. But before long, he disappeared from public life. Only a few people had direct contact with him. For a time, I was one of them. Then a year after you fell into your coma, he slipped out of sight entirely. Since then, nothing. No photos, no recordings, not even a reliable rumor as to his whereabouts. I tried every method I could think of, but Zero was gone. Freed of his control, his creation, his power continued to grow. Cypher is a great beast, and Zero was its spine. But even without him, it's endured, evolved. But now its body is rotting, riddled with parasites. Parasites like the ones who attacked you 9 years ago in the Caribbean, and then at the hospital. Cypher's Black Ops Unit, XOF. They learned where you were, and came to wipe the slate clean.
Well, that wasn't scary at all. Afghanistan today. I guess let's just listen to it. It shouldn't be that long.
Christmas Eve, 1979.
Yeah, I love
The
Christmas.
Soviet Union rolled into Afghanistan. Muslims had revolted against the Soviet-friendly regime established the year before. The DRA forces could no longer contain it themselves, so the Soviets went in to intervene. The Afghan government was powerless and fraught with infighting. They lost the hearts and minds of the people, and that alarmed the Soviet leadership. With the Islamic Revolution happening in Iran, the Soviets felt they had to act fast or risk the spread of Islamic revivalism. A superpower, sending a motorized rifle division against men on horseback with antique rifles. Everyone thought it'd be over in an instant, only it wasn't.
Some Muslims made their fight a jihad, a holy war, and began a guerrilla campaign on all fronts. A war of attrition. These fighters...
Let's just scroll back a second. Is it an Attack on Titan reference? That's technically an Attack on Titan reference. Although at the same time, not really, because, you know, that Attack on Titan season came out before... It came out after this.
Some Muslims made their fight a jihad, a holy war, and began a guerrilla campaign on all fronts. A war of attrition.
Just like that battle against the Colossus Titan.
They're being supported by the West through Pakistan. That's why Miller was involved. He was training them near the Zero Line, sponsored by the CIA. The war has become a nightmare for the Soviet troops.
CIA, FBI, American government, things you can't trust.
Then a year passed. 2 years. Now here we are 4 years on with no exit in sight. Afghanistan has become the Soviet Union's Vietnam.
I don't fully get that reference, but okay.
Troops on the ground want to go home, but at least they have homes to go back to. The Afghans have lost theirs. The Soviets destroy the kishlaks, villages, wherever they can. They burn down homes and fields, fill in wells, turn pastures into minefields. It's created a mass of refugees who fled to Pakistan. If the Mujahideen are fish swimming around the villages, the Soviets will go so far as to dry out their ocean. But this has had a big price. There's bitter resentment among the Afghans, and they're taking out their anger on the soldiers on the front lines. Among the Mujahideen are the Pashtun people. They're fiercely devoted to their code of Badal, or revenge. Soviets they've captured have had their hands, feet, and noses cut off.
Why their noses, though?
Die at the side of the road, just to show their comrades what they're capable of. Friendlies who come across them can do nothing but put them out of their misery. Then they burn down another village in retaliation. And the cycle of vengeance goes on.
These guys are hardcore, man. Why would you cut off... no, hands and feet, I can understand that. But not the nose, man. Okay, that's just another level of uncomfortable.
Snake, I wanted to ask you about the man on fire. What do you remember from the hospital? Anything we can use?
Well, he took off the moment the sprinklers started up.
Sprinklers? The fire system?
And when he got sprayed with water from the burst pipe, it slowed him down.
When we escaped on horseback, he wouldn't cross the river either.
And then it started to rain. And he disappeared.
Water against fire. Is it that simple? I mean, it makes sense. It's just hard to believe it would work on a guy like that.
Clearly, they have not learned anything from, like... Okay, we're not going to play any of these because all of this is copyright. Like in all honesty, the previous episode, it got copyrighted because of this. Hold on, where are we? We are flying through some clouds right now. Let's see. tab. Missions.
Please select a mission.
I've taken the job offers Diamond Dogs has received and made a list of those I want you to consider. Which ones you accept is your call. The objectives of the missions I've added are prisoner rescue, facility sabotage, and high-value target elimination. Probably all a walk in the park for you, but they should help you get back on your feet. I put the mission details on a cassette tape. Refer to it if you decide to accept the mission. We'll receive GMP for completing missions, and extracting soldiers and prisoners will boost our ranks. Building up Mother Base is the first step to achieving our goal. If that means wet work, so be it. We're gonna have to get our hands dirty. I hope you're rested up, because we're not stopping. Not until the pain is gone. The future of Diamond Dogs is in your hands. We're counting on you, boss.
Okay, so we have a Hero's Way, C2W, and Over the Fence. So obviously we're gonna do a Hero's Way, but before we do that, okay, cassette tapes. Okay, I'll deal with that. Oh, shoot, sorry. I'll deal with that afterwards. Development. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, escape and Okay, so development. Let's check it out.
Please specify a project.
Oh lord, we have a lot of stuff to upgrade, guys. I'm gonna enjoy this. I am thoroughly gonna enjoy this. A lot of you, those of you who know me know I like upgrades. I like upgrading stuff. Let's see. Oh, hello. What is this? What is this? What is this? Tornado 6. What is this? Okay, I think that's everything in terms of handguns. Submachine guns. I don't think I really need these. I mean, I probably would. I just don't really use them. Like for me, give me at least one weapon that is like, what do you call it? Give me one weapon that doesn't kill them but stuns them, and another weapon that, you know, full on sends them to the same place as, I'm not gonna say that name because something tells me they might send some not so pleasurable stuff at me, and I don't want that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We've seen it on Twitter. Okay, okay, snipers. Oh, snipers are good. Oh yeah, give me a silent sniper, like, for just on a real. Just give me that. Machine guns, rockets. The rockets thing mostly depends. Shields, ooh, grenades. Oh, throwing weapons. Flare grenade. Okay, that's for the helicopter. We can actually. Okay, so yeah. Okay, yeah, we can smoke grenade. You know, let's just develop that as well. Okay, we have 280,000. Sleep grenade. Apparently, we don't have enough of that yet. Apparently, there's two more that we did not see. Where are they then? Okay, there we go. What's next? Support weapons. Boxes. These work for some reason. I don't know why. What does this do? Especially racks effort, suppress hand trimmers. Oh, okay. The intelligence scope. Okay, I think the intelligence scope, the eye droid, and the Fulton device recovery thing. I think those are things that we'd want to upgrade. Because, you know, the thing is, they give information. Okay, you know, let's just do that. Because, you know what, they, you know, Ooh, this looks good. Sneaking suit. Okay, staff management. I'm not too sure what the staff management is all about, and I'm not too sure how to get rid of.
Select unit.
Yeah, I'm not too sure how to get rid of the little notification thing on the side. Like, why is it here? Yeah, I don't know how to get rid of that, and something tells me that it's just gonna stay there. Oh, Miller and Ocelot. Okay, Miller's injured. I mean, he is forever injured. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, that was a terrible joke. That was a terrible joke. I'm sorry. Oh, this guy here. Database, encyclopedia. Okay, we found a gerbil. Okay, apparently we only found one animal. Oh yeah, I've seen a good amount of plants. Did we see an African peach? I don't remember. I'm not really sure what these are used for. And let's just go to missions. Okay, you know what?
Please select a mission.
Enough of searching stuff.
Mission accepted.
Okay, I guess let's click.
Heading to Afghanistan.
Let's click here. Okay, select equipment. Okay, we're good on that. Primary weapons, we only have the one. Support weapons. Oh wait, hold on. Let's go back a bit. Primary weapons. Okay, we don't have anything else. Oh wait. Do we? Okay, no, we do not. Secondaries. We only need this thing. Support. Let's see. What can we put in? Okay, well, I guess we have everything already. Okay, don't worry, guys. Before you guys know it, we'll have a whole bunch of stuff that we wouldn't even know how to pick. Tools. Okay, we're good on that. Select buddy. Well, we only have the horse, I think. Yeah, just the horse. Okay, you know what? Let's go. Select character. We could go with the classic snake. Oh, that's basically it. Head option. Okay, yeah, commence mission. And I want to do it...
Deploying.
1800, 6 o'clock, so basically nighttime. Okay, I think we'll just do this mission and then we'll just call it an episode because this has gone extremely long, especially with the tapes. Episode 3, A Hero's Way. Starring Punished Venom Snake.
Your target is a Spetsnaz detachment commander. Your orders are to take him out. With skills like his, it'd be a shame to waste him. But I'll leave the method up to you. Boss, make your way to Deshago-Calais and eliminate the target.
Okay then. Does Afghanistan actually look like this? Well, either way, Afghanistan is beautiful. They play cricket. They were in the previous World Cup. They should have won like at least 3 of their games.
Be careful down there, boss.
Ain't gonna lie, Afghanistan should have probably won like 3 of their games. The one against India, the one against West
We can
Indies.
use compounds from plants to make medicine or poison for use in new weapons and equipment. Take a look at the plants list on your iDroid to see which ones we need. Then go find them if you get the chance. It'll keep the staff happy too.
Okay, I think we just checked it. Okay, so we need to eliminate the target. And the target is 400 and whatever minutes this that way. Okay, come on, D-horse. We're on a horse, just riding through the desert. Types of actually, we're just riding through the wilderness in Afghanistan. We're riding through the day. Is this a desert? I mean, there's a whole bunch of trees. The desert. You know, whatever. We're riding through the desert in Afghanistan. We're riding through the desert on a horse. The desert. Oh, hello. Hello, hello, hello.
Those are raw diamonds. Collecting them as assets will raise our GMP.
I know. Why do you think I collected them?
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. You have
Cash
arrived
money.
at your destination.
Northern Kabul, the Shago village.
You've arrived at the objective. Your target should be somewhere in that outpost. And don't forget, he has a Spetsnaz recon detail with him. Keep your guard up.
Okay, let's find people. We might want to destroy that. There's a guy we need to worry about. There's a guy we need to worry about. Is that the guy?
Is that him? Take a good look at their faces so we can ID the targets.
Yeah, that is definitely him. Guy over there. Guy over there. Okay, tagged him. Perfect. Guy there. Guy there. That's just a bird. That's another guy there. That is definitely him. Oh wait, hold up. Forgot about that guy. Okay. Okay, yeah, we need to go in a bit closer to see if that's the guy. That is definitely the guy.
That's the target. Looks like we found him.
Alright. Okay, we need to be sneaky, ladies and gentlemen. Sneaky. Okay, I don't see anyone here yet. You know, we'll take this.
Those materials have already been processed. It may not be much, but we can use them straight away if you bring them back to base.
Alright, Nothing else of worth in here. Okay, let's just climb the ladder. There's a guy right underneath us. Is he coming up? Because I just realized there's a searchlight here. We could extract him. Nah. Sorry, dude, but no survivors. Such a shame. Okay, I think next guy we need to take out is that guy. I feel like I need to get closer to that guy. Okay, I think we're safe. I think we are definitely safe. Nope, you don't see anything. You don't see anything. Ooh, sandstorm. Darude!
So as sandstorms come in, sandstorms effectively make you blind and deaf. But that goes for the enemy too. Use the situation to your advantage.
No English.
He speaks Russian. What we need is an interpreter. The main principle of intelligence work is intel gathering. But that's a problem if you don't speak the enemy's language. We need a staff member with the interpreter skill to do a simultaneous interpretation.
Okay, so this is basically make us like invisible in a sense. So that just allowed us to move a lot closer. Oh god, there's two guys right there and I did not realize. Okay. Let's move in. There's the guy we need to get. And then there's this guy. Okay, no one can see us from where we are right now. Oh, he's going to sleep. Sorry, dude. Okay, good. No one heard that. Come on. We need. Okay, I think we need to get rid of the guy on top there. Okay, let's just take this guy out. Oh, I think they found the guy. I think they found one of the bodies. Yep. Stay right there, buddy.
Target confirmed dead. Your objective's complete. Exfiltrate out of the hot zone by chopper or on land. Don't hang around.
A little hard to do. You picked the wrong place, dude. You picked the worst time. Okay, so now that we got the objective, we can just go ahead and send these guys to a better place. Bruh, like, how on earth did you miss me? I mean, I kind of sort of want to hang around. I mean, I want to see what else they got in here. I mean, I'll take this. Okay, we'll be taking this. Okay, where do we want to go now? Okay, let's just reload. Oh, there's another one dead. Where?
So your suppressor is worn out. That gun will be as loud as any other now. If you have to shoot, be careful.
Yep. Suppressors are noise suppression devices that reduce the sound of a muzzle flash of gunshots. Though they allow a weapon to be fired without alerting the enemy, their consumable parts mean that eventually they will break down and be rendered useless. Suppressors can be attached or removed via the weapon select menu. You picked the wrongest time. You picked the worst time, my boy. Actually, I wish we could get some like information on these guys to like take them with us and all that. Hello. Oh, that's cute. I can throw him off, right? I can just... Okay, there we go. I'm not too sure how long until these guys wake up. Don't shine that light in my face, boy. Oh, hello. Can extract these weapons. Me likey. Can we extract these ones? Oh no, we can't. Or at the very least, not yet. Okay, is there anything else? Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? By the looks of it, it's just one guy. Almost. This is the last guy, I believe. Nice try, buddy. Okay, we dealt with that guy. That's funny, it's not saying like... It's not saying guard post captured or anything yet. Well, you're gonna die. Oh, here's another one. And... Man, dude, how many bullets do you take? Seriously, how many bullets do you people take? I'm guessing we destroy that.
Destroyed their anti-air radar? It wasn't one of the targets, but that's put a hole in their air surveillance. The chopper will be able to get in close now. You can designate a landing zone near the outpost.
How did we never saw this guy? Okay, I think that's everything. Yeah, I think, yeah, that is everyone here. Well, mission complete. We don't have anything else to do.
So Support helicopter
Roger.
requested.
Okay, came in, got what we needed, and we're getting out. That's a nice vehicle, by the way. We could drive it. And this episode has gone way too long. Like I said, we listened to all those tapes and such, and that made things go on way longer than expected. And you know, I had to cut out the part with the music, so you know, because I don't want copyright, because that's what happened on the last episode. So thank you guys for watching. If you like the video, leave a like, subscribe, and oh wait, no, I think I'm a little too early. Little too early there, guys. Hold on. All done. Okay, there we go. This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. And I'm still gonna finish with full ammo. And that's something. This is B-Quad on station at LZ. Okay, let's get out of here.
Gaining altitude.
Well, like that. Well, we have a minigun.
Buddy, departing area of operations.
Okay, that was too much fun.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Development project has been...
That was way too much fun right there.
Mission complete, boss.
B. Okay, we had one enemy combat alert and only took one hit. Really? That was fine. Fine, whatever. 158,000 cash money. Okay. Okay.
How you feeling, boss? Getting used to being in the field again? Having choppers and horse at your disposal is indispensable for operating in the wilds of Afghanistan. I've gone ahead and arranged for you to be able to develop and customize weaponry for support choppers. And you can also develop new equipment for D-Horse if you like. Use your iDroid to start development as needed.
Okay, so we acquired some new people. We got Blazing Serpent. He's a gunsmith guy. Rumble Hound. Charging Moth. And a bunch of other people. We got one C-class person though, so that's nice.
Side ops list
By
updated.
connecting your iDroid to the onboard computer, you turn the chopper into your own Aerial Command Center, or ACC. Some elements of staff assignment and R&D of weapons and items can only be performed from there. Take as long as you need to consider all your options.
Okay then. Well, anyways, thank you guys for watching this episode. If you like the video, leave a like, subscribe, share it with your friends. Tell them that you're watching a guy shoot people. And no, I'm not gonna get in trouble for it because, you know, Fortnite. It's a thing. We shoot people in Fortnite. So thank you all for watching, and until the next episode, I just stretched. See ya.